day 29 of rereading my Bible, and I read Numbers 13 through 14. God tells the Israelites it's time to enter his promised land after 2 years and some change of traveling from Egypt. He has one man from each of the 12 tribes go into the land of Canaan, which is roughly the area that modern-day Israel resides, and he has them scout out this land and bring back a report. Caleb and Joshua specifically come back with fruit from the land and an amazing report that this land is bountiful and that with God's help they can help conquer this land. But the other 10 men talk about how hostile and fierce the people are, how there are giants among them, and how they're not going to be able to do this. Caleb and Joshua assure them, no, we will be fine. Look what God's done for us. He's going to do it again. But the other 10 men continue to stir up the Israelites until they are so fearful and they're complaining and saying it would have been better for us to die in Egypt. Well, God's getting really upset because he's saying, you have tested me 10 times now and I've proven myself faithful every single time. You're not going to get to see my promised land. And Moses begs and says, Lord, please be merciful. You promised this land. Please deliver on that promise. And God says, yes, I am merciful and long-suffering, and I love to forgive, but I will by no means clear the guilty. And he states that anyone who is 20 years and older and has seen his works so far and not believed are not going to enter the promised land. They are going to die in the wilderness, and they're going to have to wander the wilderness for 38 years, for a total of 40 years. And then still not get to live in the promised land. Only their children, and those who are under 20 years old, are going to get to live in the promised land, as well as Caleb and Joshua. And then he strikes down the other 10 men who gave the bad report. So then the Israelites are now scared of God, and they're like, no, we're sorry, we believe you. Okay, let's go now. We're going to go to the promised land now. And he's like, no, it's too late. I've already created a different path for you because you didn't believe. But they continue on anyways without the presence of the Lord to the land of Canaan, and they are immediately defeated. And I imagine too, although it's not specific, suffering a great loss of lives. And I had me thinking God wasn't having them believe blindly because he had shown himself time and time again, but they chose to believe these 10 men about one false report rather than God about the 10 miraculous interventions he had provided so far for them. And he doesn't have us believe blindly either. He shows himself very evidently in our lives, and he is patient and forgiving and merciful. But if we don't believe, he will by no means clear the guilty.